What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the river. So if you're new to river fishing, you want to get out there on a kayak, you want to have some fun, you want to catch some fish, we want to talk about some of the basics that are going to help you do all of those things and more. Probably should cover safety stuff first. Paul's got a few things on right now. 1, PFD. 2, what's that?
Whistle.
Oh, whistle.
Safety whistle. Not just like a piece of garbage whistle. A very loud, very clear, likely one that does not have a ball on the inside, just something that's gonna be loud and clear. That's a crucial one. You're gonna want to be able to strap it to your vest.
I have one right here as well, so that goes right up in this little pocket in my PFD. Another one that can be really helpful is a knife. People ask me about this knife all the time. Paul and I both have this. This is the NRS Co-Pilot knife, and it does a lot of things. You can see we got a serrated edge, a sharp edge, a flat edge, which acts as a screwdriver, bottle opener, other utility purpose thing, a little spot where you can lock it in, and the blunt edge is nice because you're not going to accidentally stab yourself with it, but you can just pop her up in here into that holder.
Or if it's in an inflatable, you're not going to poke a hole in your inflatable by mistake.
Which would be very saddening. Another couple things that'll be helpful. If you're going early morning, make sure you got some lights. So Paul and I both have nav lights up there. If you're going late evening, same rules apply. Low light conditions, you're going to want that. Another necessity for the river pretty often is anchor, and it doesn't have to be fancy like this. So we have the Anchor Wizard paired up with some drag chains. You can actually see Paul's at the front of his boat right there. That's usually what we use.
We'll hit motors in a little bit because that's another way to get around, but before we hit all that, this one right here.
You're going to want a paddle.
You're going to need, I will tell you right now.
You don't need a fancy paddle, but you need a paddle.
I don't care how many pedals you have. I don't care how many motors you have. Batteries wear out, water happens, emergencies happen. You can get anything done that you need to get done safely with a paddle. It's a requirement on a lake. It's an absolute must on the river. Always have your paddle handy.
A big thing, even if you have a motor, is you will hit skinny sections. So I've got another tool that is very useful for you in a second, but the paddle is going to help you get through that. Most of these kayaks we use, they draft really shallow. So even if you're in 6 inches of water, unless you have a super heavy big rig, most likely you can get through that with the assist of a little bit of a paddle, a little bit of paddling, a little zhuzhing, if you will. Another thing that you're going to want to have is a drag strap. So you can use what I'm using right here. Is I have a cam strap. This is actually how we secured our kayaks to the trailer that we use to bring them out here today, and then it just doubles as my drag strap. Or you can have a fancy drag strap like what is included in most of these Crescent
SFs, the
SFs,
fishing specialized version.
Yep. So that's the Shoaly and the Smallmouth.
It's a strap that is attached somewhere to the front of your kayak. It can be just a rope, it doesn't really matter, but the idea is if you have to get out, instead of dragging your kayak like by a handle, you tie it to the front of your boat somewhere, and then you kind of walk it on a leash like a dog, and what happens is
fun.
It's really fun. You can tie it to your waist and just fish in those shallow areas, but then the kayak just floats behind you, and it's a really easy and convenient way and safe way to get through, like Jeff was saying, some of those really skinny areas.
Last up before we get on the water and actually start fishing, make sure you bring some snacks and some hydration. Highly recommended water.
Gatorade.
Gatorade is a good idea. Depending on whether you're doing a float, you're paddling upstream, you're fishing a small section, a big section, doesn't matter. Like, you're going to want to have some nutrition and some hydration, and that's just going to keep you going throughout the day. I think that's obvious, but a lot of people forget about it. Drink. There's a Gatorade back here somewhere. Yep. Gatorade, and then we've got lunch boxes and snacks in our little bags on the back.
And look, most of that is, while it's convenient, it also keeps you in the game mentally. Like when you're really hungry or you're dehydrated or whatever, you start making bad decisions, and you make hasty decisions because of you being hungry. So it's really important to take care of yourself. You will make better, safer decisions.
Guys, that's enough talking for now. We're going to go out on the water and have some fun, and we'll probably hit a few more important points while we are out there. So let's get to it. All right, nerds, we find ourselves not even close to a third of the way down this float, and we have T-minus 3 hours to get back, so we should probably start hustling. Oh, let's go.
That's a fish.
Let's go. You caught the actual fish we're supposed to catch.
Target species acquired. Little guy, little little largy.
All right.
Bottom lipped them.
Incorrect species.
Bottom lipped them. Like an idiot.
At this point, we have caught more of the other species than the small.
Shush. Hey, I'll take a little largy. Not mad about it.
I'll take a little largy.
See you, buddy. I'll take a little largy. All right.
Swimbaits.
Hey.
Tell them girls, go.
All right, so Jeff is using the final copy from Striking, which he will put in front of the camera for you in a moment. And I am using the Swag LT from Z-Man. It is a I've got the underhook. You've got the under treble?
Under treble.
Under treble. Now, under trebles are good. Don't hear me out. They're good. You're going to get more bites. Like your hookup ratio goes up, but that also means your hookup ratio on sticks goes up. Okay, so you can go, with a line through like this one, the Z-Man Swag LT, you can actually switch and go top hook, which I'm not going to do. I personally don't care. I would rather lose all my baits and potentially catch all the fish in those tricky areas. Personally, I'd rather put my baits in harm's way and catch more fish. And that's how I like to fish, but you got to do you. If you want to go top hook,
that's where the fish are.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think as a beginner, one thing you really need to understand is that if you're getting hooked up like once every 5 casts, you're probably doing it right. You're getting in like the sticky areas where the fish want to be, and that's where your baits need to be. So if you're using a treble hook bait, like just be aware, like that's part of the game. If you're using a bottom contact bait, everyone wants to go weedless. That can be the right choice, but I personally don't do it as much because I would rather catch the fish. I'll take 5 lost baits if I can catch a big fish. But you gotta make your own choices. Baits aren't free. I get that, and I respect it. I will say that too about larger baits. They can cover water. It's not that they can't, but typically you're just not gonna entice quite as many bites. The bites you get should be a little bigger. So what I tend to do is that I tend to put them in my high percentage areas. So anywhere where there's a tree down, a log jam, a really good eddy, or a little bit of a current seam, or really the best is like sticks and rocks. Like if I can get sticks and rocks together and a little bit of slack water, now we're cooking for those big baits. Like that's where I want to be.
The nice thing about motors though is it helps you cover more stretches of water, get away from dead water faster. That's kind of where we're at right now. We're realizing we're looking at this sandy, mucky bottom, and the fish are few and far between. So we're going to want to find a spot where it's a bit more rocky, maybe at least some more laydowns that can be more productive, and we can rip spot to spot with a motor. Now you can do that with a bow mount motor. You can do it with a transom mount motor. You can have a trolling motor. You can go with a cheap setup or an expensive setup. Doesn't really matter. As long as you have motorized propulsion, it's going to help you go from spot A to spot B. So definitely something to consider. There's a lot of budget options out there, so don't feel like this is financially out of your reach. There's going to be an option that you can go for. What we are using today, we have the Newport NK300 on my boat, and Paul is running the Garmin Force Current. We've been loving these. However, we know that they are like at the upper price tier, especially the Garmin Force Current setup Paul has. That's $36.99. My setup without the battery is $1,100, but then you got to factor in your own 36-volt battery. But you can get some fairly inexpensive options out there, like Power Queen, for example. Just go for those higher voltage options and get away with them for, I don't know, a few $100 versus like the low pro. Ooh, muskrat right there. Little buddy guy. Versus, the low pro in that like $900 range. So again, just don't think that it's fully inaccessible for you. There is a way to get into it, and it's something to consider because it certainly opens up the water. Not only can you rip down a river float when you hit dead sections, but you can also go upstream, which is normally either A, inaccessible, or B, impossibly hard to paddle or pedal up because you hit those skinny little riffles, and you're better off just walking at that point. So it saves you a lot of time, a lot of effort. We think they're pretty cool options. And when you got the 1-foot steering like I have on the new canoe, that is awesome. Or the wireless foot pedals that Paul is rocking right now, just makes it really easy to rip around and find out. Consider it ripped. Dividends paid. The other big thing is, if you think about it, it opens up new spots that other people aren't fishing. There might be guides here and there getting out to these tough to reach spots, but between like a boat launch or a kayak launch and like a dam, sometimes there's going to be these big stretches that nobody's really fishing because people kind of stick to the kayak launch. They go up a little bit, they come down, they don't really go farther down river or farther up river. So you're unlocking new spots with a motor, which is kind of cool, and in our opinion kind of makes it worth it because you might find that magic section like I'm going to find right now. Let's go. All right, y'all, Garmin, full speed. If you're comfortable. Newport. I'm gonna try and keep matching you until we get to full. You're at 100 here. I am at 58. Hang on, let's see what happens. Shake and bake. I'm probably doing 6.3, 6.4. 6.5, you think? All right. Onwards. All right, y'all, so I've been throwing the Ned rig for a little bit. And this one, to me, can just be such a day-changing bait. At first glance, you're like, do nothing bait. This does nothing. What is the point? It's so dumb. And I hear you, because it kind of is. It's just that little tiny stick bait. But this thing will produce when most other things won't. It's also really easy to rig weedless and put it up into spots you're not going to be fishing your big swim baits and other baits like that. So something that has a lot of hooks on it, going to get hung up a bunch. You can get an EWG Ned head. Z-Man sells some, but there's other ones out there. You can also just take a straight shank and rig it weedless. It's pretty simple. And I can go up against the bank here as far as I want. They skip really well too, which you can get a lot of good practice on, like a spinning setup with. It's just easier to skip than a bait caster, at least you know, when you're getting started. So essentially how I like to fish the Ned is I will use one of my two go-to weights, which should be either a 1/4 ounce Ned head like this one, or a 1/6 ounce, which is actually what I'm going to switch to right now. With a lighter jig head, you're able to drift a lot more. And one thing about the Ned that a lot of people don't think about is that it's actually a really good swimming bait. So if you want to either A, just straight retrieve it, or B, swing it. So you kind of lift your rod tip and let it drop. That retrieve tends to get a lot of bites. So if you're not getting bit when you're just letting it sit on bottom or when you're hopping it around on bottom, so here's like a 1/6 ounce, then you can always just change it up a little bit. So essentially you take your, I prefer Z-Man because you got the Elastec, but you can take any, like, you know, part of a worm, like a little 2 or 3 inch segment of worm, and just rig it onto any straight shank or EWG style jig head. You just rig it up like that, nice and straight. Just stretch out my Z-Man plastics. The reason I use Z-Man most of the time is that I'll end up using just one of these. As long as I don't break off, I can get away with just one of these for pretty much the whole day. And then I just cast it up there on the bank, let it sit. If I'm not getting it when it's sitting still, and you can even twitch it a little bit, and now you got a moving bait. So it does a lot for not having much going on, which is pretty cool. The other thing that's important for the Ned rig to work is you're going to want to have the right setup. So I've got a pretty solid combo here, one that I like a lot at least. This is the Cast King Skeet Reese spinning reel, 2500 size. I've got it paired up with Cast King Asagi, and this is the core spinning. Now this is a medium extra fast, and that is what you want. So regardless of what I have, you want that medium setup for the power of the rod, and you want that extra fast action, and that's always going to lend itself well to jig fishing. So this is a jig. You want to be able to get that hook penetration on your hook sets. Having a medium power with an extra fast or fast at the very least action to it is going to help you hook up 2 more fish. So pick your favorite combo. There's a billion out there, and I just got a fish. Let's freaking go. Oh, it's a good largemouth too. No! Oh, I knew that was gonna happen, dude. Knew it was gonna happen. Good Lord, right at the boat too. Well, if you can't keep them down with the Ned, like, you're toast. Got one. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, that's pike. Pike.
That's pike. That's musky.
No.
Is it?
I don't know. It's a nice pike. Holy crap.
You had that, like, kind of tiger musky looking hue.
Dude, he's a beast. Oh, he's dogging me. That's why we love the pike. Oh, he yoinked it. Ah!
Good hammer handle.
Oh, that's not a hammer handle. That was assault, is what he just did.
That was assault.
Woo! That was awesome. Holy crap.
He absolutely inhaled that. What a gorgeous fish though, dude. Are you kidding me? What a beast. Woo! Never gets old.
All right. Let's see how far into this crap I can drive. So, driving through the mucky muck. We gotta pull off here. We actually have a very far way to drag. Oh, huge fish. Yeah, I've seen so many monster fish in the slop too.
Really?
They're in here, dude. And this is why you need the drag strap. There's another reason you can bring your wheels with you too if you want to. it would have been helpful. There you are, Peter. Good thing this one's so light. I'm almost to the hill. I got it. I can do it. Yeah. That could have been worse.
And just like that, you too can traverse the untraversable.
Easy.
Easy. Easy.
What was that, like 350 yards, 400 yards?
No, it was like 120.
Absolutely not. I've been on a football field. That was much further. Thus starts the final run. That's gotta be grass. There's something like on the logs here that I'm getting hung up on. Or that's a fish. Decent fish. Bro, a largemouth. A chunk. Hold up. Brother? This is like a near 3-pounder. Check it out. Pow-pow! I did it. Look at that. Right on the TRD fatty. Let's go, bud. See ya. Never know what you're gonna get in the Grand.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Whatever that is, that's a good one. Strong fish. Looks like a largie. Is it? I think it is. Get in here, you. Oh yeah, that's a nice largie. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, big dog. All right, yeah, slap everything. Okay, cool. Yeah, on the LT. Let's go, baby. Baby, what? Yes, that's awesome, bro. See you, buddy. Oh.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. Came out the grass. We did it. I had to switch it up, but we got there. Oh gosh. What? Bro, he's gut hooked with another one. Shoot. Hang on. Yeah, no, he's got another hook inside of him right now. I'm trying to shoot. All right, pliers. Surgery. Dang, dude. Dude, homie had a big TRD up in him. Are you kidding me? No, it was a wacky hook, dude. Got him. Buddy's gonna live. Come on, buddy. We'll see ya. Yeah, let's go. We did it. Let's go. I just made my freaking day, dude. You guys, we got an issue. I'm now dragging Paul's kayak. It's not going great. I don't feel like I should just drive with it side by side for a second. Maybe that's what I'll do. Because I got to get it back to a pullout, which is way that way. Because in the town we just went to, there is no portage over this dam, which I thought wasn't allowed. I thought there had to be a portage of some sort. There's nothing near here. So I gotta run upstream here. Paul just ran through town a couple blocks to go get my truck, and then we're gonna get out of here. So once again, you got on the river, you gotta plan your route a little better than we did, which was hastily done at 5 in the morning this morning. So, plan ahead a little bit further. Here we go. Let's go for the run. So Paul's getting the truck. I am managing to drive 2 kayaks at one time to get to the pull-out ramp. Let's go. There's a lot of grass ahead of me too, so wish me luck. Yay. Oh, wow. That was fun.
That was a great time.
I had a good time. Hopefully there were some good lessons in this video. That was intended, fully intentional.
Yeah, on purpose.
That we would mess this up so bad that you would learn from it. But it brings up a valid point. Obviously, you want to scout the stretch like you would scout a lake that you're going to. Scout the river. And one thing that you really want to look for, as we found out today, are dams. Now, it would have been hard, arguably, Would have been difficult for sure to tell that there was no portage there. I feel like every time I see a dam, I expect there to be some sort of portage because there usually is.
Yep, especially in a city.
Especially in a city. Yeah. So this city decided not to do that. That's
okay.
Fine. But
we had an adventure. We made it around. We figured it out.
You just got to work with it, right? So we ended up figuring out a solution. You saw it. It was fun. We got back. But yeah, other than that, there are a lot of important pieces of information in this video that you should adhere to. So hopefully you take some lessons away from this. You get some ideas for things that you're going to need for your next river float or river trip so you can have more fun with it. And ultimately just be safe, get out of the water, have some fun, and hopefully you catch some fish too. If you enjoyed this video, if it was helpful for you, be sure to subscribe, smash a like, ring that notification bell, and all that cool stuff. And then also come back live every Wednesday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. We'd love to see you there and talk to you and chat. That's all we got. We got to get out of here. We're in trouble. We'll see you later. Bye!